Hello, Bridget.
Hi, Caroline.
I need your help. I am so confused.
Oh, about what?
I'm getting really confused between reverses and jump shifts because they feel kind of the same to me. So please help me.
I would be happy to. Honestly, this is one of the biggest areas of confusion. So many people are asking me about this, and it is a little bit tricky. But once you understand the logic, I think that it makes sense. So, shall we look at a couple of hands? Maybe one with a reverse and one with a jump shift, and just talk about what we're doing in each of those hands and what kind of hand you would have for them. So here's our first example. This example is going to be an example of a reverse. Firstly, I want you to think about what you would open with this hand. And it's not too tricky. You're going to open a diamond. Anytime you open one of a suit, I want you to start thinking about this concept of a barrier. It might be the first time you've ever heard of the barrier. The barrier is the idea of repeating the suit you open with your first bid at the two level. So here we're opening a diamond. Two diamonds is your barrier. So always think about this. If you open one of a suit, try and imagine your barrier. Your barrier is two diamonds. Clearly, if you'd opened a club or a heart or a spade, your barrier would become two clubs, two hearts, or two spades. What's important about this barrier is that when you make a second bid, if your second bid ever goes beyond that barrier, that is showing a strong hand. That's a fundamental idea. If you ever bid past your barrier, you are showing a strong hand. And if you show a strong hand, you really want your partner to act on that information. Let's start this bidding. We're going to bid one diamond. And West is passing. And let's see what partner comes in with. A spade. So I love showing my two suited hand. I always want to be able to tell my partner about my second suit, but I need to think, have I gone past my barrier? I can't show my second suit if it goes past my barrier unless I have a strong hand. If I come in here and bid two hearts, I'm forcing Caroline sometimes, if she's got a very weak hand and prefers diamonds, I'm forcing her to come back and bid three diamonds, which is okay if we've got enough points. But if I don't have enough points and she doesn't have enough points, we're very high. We've gone to the three level. So I can only make this bid if I'm confident that we've got enough points. Here, enough points to go past the barrier here and bid two hearts is 16 points opposite a one level response. So Caroline knows here, because I've bid this high ranking suit at the two level, because I've gone past the barrier of two diamonds, she knows I've got a good hand with 16 or more points, which is great. It's given her a lot of information. You can see here she's jumped to four hearts. Let's have a look at what she's got. There you go. So she hasn't got that many points. She's got 10 points. She's got a fairly decent hand, but she knows that because I've bid past my barrier of two diamonds, I must have something decent. I must have 16 points. And then she's looked at her hand and thought, well, look, if Bridget's got 16 points, we have enough points for game. You can see here that we are always going to lose two spades, but we're going to make all our hearts and our clubs and the diamonds. So we're going to make an extra trick here. So we've done very well, and Caroline was confident bidding four hearts because she knew that I would never bid above my barrier unless I had a strong hand. So bidding above your barrier in a sequential way, just bidding naturally without jumping, going past your barrier, you need 16 points if your partner's bid at the one level. If they've responded at the two level without jumping, they've just bid naturally up to the two level, then you can go past your barrier with 15 points. Now, let's compare that situation with the jump shift situation. Let's check out this new hand. Here we go. So this is all just about the way the suits are ordered. Here, our longer suit is hearts. So the first thing we think is, I have opened hearts. What's my barrier? Two hearts. You're getting this. My barrier is two hearts. So now I have to think, if I bid past my barrier, that shows a strong hand. So I start by opening one heart. And now spade by my partner again. If I just come in and bid two diamonds here, so if I bid naturally without jumping, you can see that I'm below the barrier. If I bid two diamonds, any bid I make below my barrier, my partner can pass. If you make a bid above the barrier here with a new suit, your partner is not able to pass. So I can't cope with the idea of Caroline passing with this hand. I've got 19 points. Really, really would not be happy if Caroline passed. And unfortunately, just because of the way the suits are ordered, if I bid 2 diamonds, I'm not getting past the barrier. So this time I need to jump past the barrier. I actually have to make a jump and force past that 2 heart barrier. So this is where the jump shift comes in. I'm jumping right up to 3 diamonds to say, I've got a strong hand. I'm jumping right past that barrier. So unlike the reverse situation where you bid sequentially past the barrier, with a jump shift, you have to jump past the barrier. And because you're jumping right up to the 3 level here, you now become forcing to game, which is interesting. That's a subtle difference between the reverse and the jump shift. With the reverse, you're just forcing for 1 round. But with a jump shift, you are forcing to game because you've introduced a whole new suit in here at the 3 level. You're forced to game here. So what's interesting about this is Caroline may have even bid 3 no trumps with a 6 count. She knows I would never, ever make one of these jump shift bids unless I was forcing to game. So it's normally a 19 count, a 2 suited hand with a 19 count, maybe a very, very good 18. Let's see what Caroline's got here. Let's have a look what is in the hand. There you go. She's got a 7 count. She's bid a 3 no trump, so she clearly had to have a stop in the club suit, and we're going to make our 3 no trump contract. Caroline would never, ever feel confident bidding 3 no trumps unless she could trust me that my jump shifts always show hands which are forcing to game. So Caroline, does that make sense to you? Can you see the difference between this reverse and the jump shift and how you had to get past that barrier in a different way?
I can. That was really illuminating. I think the thing that was most illuminating for me is that in both cases, you are going past the barrier. And I think quite often when you're talking about reverses in particular, you can kind of assume that it's just the reverse that's all about going past the barrier, but the jump shift is going past the barrier as well. It's just that you have had to jump a level, because if you bid the suit that you wanted to bid at the next available level, you wouldn't be going past the barrier. You've had to jump.
That's exactly right. You've said that absolutely beautifully. It's because you've had to force past that barrier just because of the way the suits are ordered. Sometimes when you've got a strong hand, you can get past that barrier naturally. And that's the reverse situation. You only need 16 points for that, forcing for 1 round. But if you have to jump past the barrier, it's like you've had to force past just because of the way the suits are ordered. Then that becomes forcing to game because you've introduced a new suit in here at the 3 level, becomes forcing to game, and your partner now can trust you to have 19 points. You're bidding to game.
And that's why it's so powerful, because you're showing that strength that you've got so you can make a better decision about your bidding.
Yes. Exactly. So I love this barrier idea. If people can start thinking about the barrier, and that if you go past the barrier, you're showing a strong hand, I think that really helps understand the logic of what's going on.
Incredibly helpful. Thank you so much for putting me on the straight and narrow when it comes to reverses versus jump shifts.
Okay. Lovely to see you. See you soon.
You
Bye.
too.